All right, welcome to another deep dive into financial freedom.
All right.
Today, we are going to be looking at a YouTube video called Financial Freedom, 5 Rules for Early Financial Independence.
Whoa.
It's from this channel called Business Mindset. And I know you want to retire early, right?
Uh-huh. Right.
So this video kind of tells a story about these two friends, Raju and Shyam, and how they go about
Okay.
achieving financial freedom using these 5 rules. And what's interesting is these two guys are total opposites.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Raju is all about spending, credit cards, loans,
Wow.
instant gratification,
Oh,
whereas
okay.
Shyam lives a much more minimalist lifestyle,
Yeah.
focused on saving and investing.
That's fascinating. I think this video really taps into something we all struggle with, right? Like that urge to splurge,
Yeah.
especially when we haven't had much in the way of financial education.
Mhm.
I mean, think about it. Haven't you ever bought something you didn't really need
Oh, yeah.
just because it was on sale or
Oh,
something?
for sure.
We're constantly bombarded with messages to spend, spend, spend. It takes real conscious effort to be mindful about our finances, you know?
Absolutely. I think we've all
Yeah.
fallen victim to that impulse buy at some point.
Yeah.
Back to the video, though. Things get pretty intense when a pandemic hits.
Oh, wow.
Raju ends up losing his job.
Mm.
He's drowning in debt, no savings.
Oh, no.
Shyam, on the other hand, is actually in a pretty good place. Because of his savings and his investments, he even has a side business going.
Oh, wow. That's a big contrast.
Yeah, it really highlights the importance of having a plan.
For sure. And that's where that first rule in the video comes in, right? Make your life debt-free. It's like creating that psychological safety net.
Yeah.
When you're not constantly worried about repayments, you can focus on building a solid financial foundation. And that's really important, especially when unexpected events come up, like a pandemic.
Right.
Debt can quickly snowball and jeopardize your financial stability, which is the opposite of what you want when you're aiming for financial freedom.
It's amazing how Shyam, even after seeing Raju make all these financial mistakes, offers him a job at his side business.
Oh, wow.
It shows real character,
Yeah.
But it's also a good reminder that sometimes we need a wake-up call to really get it.
Right. Sometimes you got to hit rock bottom to
Yeah.
understand the importance of financial responsibility. Which brings us to rule number 2. Make your own budget.
Oh, a budget.
It's not about restriction. It's about awareness and control.
Okay.
It's like having a roadmap for your money.
Mhm.
By tracking your income and expenses, you can figure out where to cut back, prioritize saving and investing, and ultimately achieve your goals.
I used to think budgets were boring.
Yeah,
But this video actually makes it sound empowering.
I agree.
It's about consciously choosing how you want to use your money.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to be stuck in a cycle of debt, or do you want to achieve your dreams?
Yeah.
A budget helps you make that choice.
It does. Speaking of dreams, that leads perfectly into rule number 3. Pen down your goals.
Ah, yes, the power of writing things down. There's something about putting pen to paper
Yeah.
that makes it more real. It's about turning those fuzzy aspirations into tangible targets. Instead of just saying, I want to retire early, try something like, I want to have enough passive income to cover my expenses by the age of 45.
Okay.
The more
Fair.
concrete your goals, the easier it is to create a plan and actually track your progress.
Yeah, it's like creating a vision board.
Yeah.
But for your finances.
Exactly. And to make those dreams a reality, we need to talk about rule number 4. Develop the habit of investment.
Ooh, investment.
This is where things get interesting. Instead of just saving your money, the idea is to make your money work for you.
Okay.
This is about harnessing the power of compound interest. You essentially earn interest on your interest, which creates a snowball effect that accelerates your wealth building.
Wow.
It's a long-term game, but it's crucial for achieving financial freedom.
There's so many ways to invest too, right?
There are. The video briefly mentions real estate, fixed deposits, mutual funds, stocks, but it encourages viewers to check out their other videos to dive deeper into each option.
Yeah, and what I find interesting is this rule really emphasizes educating yourself about the different investment strategies out there and finding what aligns with your risk tolerance and goals.
Absolutely. You got to do your research and find what works best for you.
Yeah.
Which leads us to the final rule.
Okay.
And I think this one's especially relevant to your entrepreneurial spirit. Create additional sources of income.
Interesting.
It's about thinking beyond your 9-to-5 job and finding ways to generate passive income.
So things like side hustles,
Yes.
online businesses, creative ventures, that sort of thing.
Exactly. The video really emphasizes diversifying your income streams, not just for financial security, but also for flexibility and freedom.
So you can kind of create a life you love.
That's the goal. Now, before we jump into each rule in more detail,
Yeah.
what are your initial thoughts on these 5 rules so far? Anything that really jumps out at you, or maybe something that feels particularly challenging?
You know, it's interesting you mentioned that about wanting more flexibility and control.
Yeah.
Because it really ties into this growing trend, this shift away from that traditional 9 to 5
Right.
towards a more, I guess you could say, a more flexible and entrepreneurial approach to work, right? It's all about taking control,
Yeah.
taking control of your time and your earning potential.
Makes sense. I mean, who doesn't want more flexibility? But let's dive back into these rules,
Okay.
starting with make your life debt-free.
All right.
What are some practical steps someone could take to start tackling their debt?
Well, there are a couple of popular methods out there, each with its own sort of psychological advantage.
Right.
One is called the snowball method.
And with this one, you basically focus on paying off your smallest debts first. It might not be the most efficient, like financially speaking, but it gives you this sense of accomplishment as you start knocking those debts off your list.
Yeah, you get that momentum going.
Exactly. It's motivating. Then you've got the avalanche method.
Okay.
With this one, you prioritize paying off debts with the highest interest rates. So this saves you money in the long run.
Makes sense.
This one makes more financial sense, but it might not feel as rewarding initially,
Right.
especially if those high interest debts are also large sums.
So it's kind of about finding that balance between the financial strategy and staying motivated.
Exactly.
That's a good point. What about budgeting?
Well, budgeting.
Any tips to make it less, I don't know, daunting and maybe even fun?
Haha. Well, thankfully, technology has made it a lot easier.
Okay.
There are so many apps out there these days that connect directly to your bank account, they categorize your transactions. Some of them even send you alerts when you're nearing your spending limit.
Wow. So you can automate your way to financial health.
In a way, yeah.
What if someone's not comfortable, though, sharing their bank info?
I get that. Not everyone's comfortable with that level of integration. But the good news is, even a simple spreadsheet can be super effective.
Okay.
The key is finding a system that works for you, whether it's high-tech or low-tech,
Right.
and just sticking with it.
Consistency is key.
Absolutely.
Moving on to setting goals.
Sure.
The video talks about being specific and writing things down. Why is that so important?
It all comes down to turning those vague ideas you have into tangible, concrete targets. Instead of just saying, I want to retire early, try being more specific, like, I want to have enough passive income to cover my expenses by 45.
I like that. It's like setting smart goals.
Yeah.
Specific, measurable, achievable, all that.
Exactly.
So when it comes to investing, there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Right. The video gives you a basic overview of different options, but you really got to do your own research.
Yeah.
There are tons of resources online. You can talk to a financial advisor,
Right.
get some personalized guidance.
It can feel intimidating at first, I think, especially when you're just starting out.
It can.
It's important to find resources you trust and not be afraid to ask questions.
For sure.
Now let's circle back to creating additional sources of income.
Ah, yes. This is where it gets fun.
I know, I love this one.
It's all about tapping into your passions, your skills, maybe even exploring some entrepreneurial ventures.
This rule really speaks to me.
Me too. There's something so empowering about building multiple income streams.
Yeah.
It's financial security, flexibility, the freedom to pursue your passions.
Okay, so we've covered a lot here. We talked about tackling debt, budgeting, setting goals, even touched on investing and side hustles.
We did.
What are your takeaways so far? Is there a particular rule that you're finding really interesting or maybe challenging? So as we're talking about this, one thing that really stands out to me is this whole mindset shift that's needed for financial freedom.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's not just about the numbers. It's not just about the strategies. It's about adopting a more,
Yeah.
a more conscious, empowered approach to money.
I completely agree. I think the video touches on that a little bit, but it is a crucial point.
Yeah.
We need to move away from that scarcity mindset,
Yeah.
where we're constantly worried about not having enough,
Right.
to an abundance mindset where we actually believe in our ability to create wealth and achieve our financial goals.
It's about shifting from, I can't afford that, to how can I make that happen?
Exactly. It's about taking ownership instead of feeling like you're at the mercy of your finances.
Yeah, and that shift in mindset, I think, is essential for all these rules we've been talking about. When
Definitely.
you believe you can create a better future, you're more likely to stick to your budget, invest wisely, and explore those additional income streams.
It's like that saying, right? Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Yeah, your beliefs shape your reality.
Absolutely, they do.
Now, as we wrap up this deep dive, let's bring it back to you listening, right? What's resonated with you the most from this conversation? What are you taking away?
Yeah. What action steps are you feeling inspired to take?
It could be something small like revisiting your budget or setting a financial goal. Maybe something bigger like starting that side hustle
Yeah.
or talking to a financial advisor.
Right. Remember, the journey to financial freedom, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yeah.
It's about making consistent progress over time. And it's a journey that's going to be unique to each individual. You know, what works for one person might not work for another.
Right. There's no one size fits all.
Exactly.
It's about finding what works for you and creating a path that feels good.
And sustainable.
Yeah.
And remember, you don't have to go it alone. There are so many resources out there.
Yeah.
Books, podcasts, online communities, financial advisors. Don't be afraid to reach out for support. If you need some guidance along the way.
We hope this deep dive has given you some valuable insights, some tools to start building your financial future. Remember, financial freedom, it's within your reach. It starts with a decision, a plan, and a commitment to take action.
So go make those dreams a reality. Create a life of abundance and fulfillment.
We believe in you. And that wraps up another deep dive into financial freedom. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, keep striving for that life you love.